January 30th, JLD here, and welcome to MSTR Today in the Treasury Titans. Nothing in this video is financial advice, and we just need to call a spade a spade. This market sucks. The dump from yesterday was absolutely brutal. It didn't just happen in Bitcoin and strategy, it happened across many sectors. Man, let's just kind of soak in this right now because it is not fun. It is not good. I mean, months from now and definitely years from now, we're going to look back and be like, man, what a buying opportunity that was. But in the moment, it never feels like that because it just feels like it could definitely go lower. We only know when the bottom is when we look back months and months and even years from now, where this will look like a little blip on a screen, as many of these have in the past, by the way. But in the moment, it sucks. We need to own it. We need to just live in it. I hope that that's kind of why you're listening to this show right now, is because, we're in this together. I mean, we invested in strategy. We believe in the thesis. We know Michael Saylor is doing the right thing long term, but short term, anything can happen and anything will happen. And Bitcoin's always been the dumpiest before the pumpiest. Now, we can only hear that so many times before it actually happens because it's been dumpy, what it feels like for an entire year. I mean, we literally are significantly below right now where we started the year. The previous year ago. So it's just like, when will this ever end? And it never feels like it's going to end in the moment. I just read a great article by Jody Visser on his Substack where he was talking about how when you're stuck in traffic on the highway, 2 minutes feels like an eternity. Like when you're stopped on a highway, it's actually kind of weird. You're like, I'm supposed to be going 70 miles an hour and I'm going 0. Like I'm literally stopped. Like it kind of feels freaky in some ways when you kind of like look at the ground. You're like, this is weird. And then of course the traffic starts again. You get home and you kind of forget about those 2 minutes you were in traffic. It just kind of like is a blip on your radar. But in the moment, it feels so long. And that's where we're at right now. We're in this moment. It sucks. It feels like it's going to last forever. The question marks are all around us. You name it. I mean, Trump's going to name a new Fed chair. Is that going to be good or bad for the market? Who knows? I mean, it's just an insane time right now. I mean, it's always an insane time in the moment. But I mean, man, it has been a really crazy time with what's been happening with metals and what's been happening with Bitcoin and what's been happening with the S&P 500. But there's Michael Saylor. He's just got his shades on. He's got his leather jacket on. He just knows it's time in the game. It's not timing the game. It's time in the game. So even when it feels crappy in the moment, you have to just believe in your thesis. You have to believe in the hours and hundreds of hours, and for me, thousands of hours you've put in studying Bitcoin and strategy, and know this is the future. Because guess what? There are 12 rules for life, according to Mr. Michael Saylor. 1, buy Bitcoin. 2, don't sell your Bitcoin. 3, focus your energy. 4, guard your time. 5, train your mind. 6, train your body. 7, think for yourself. 8, curate friendships. 9, curate environments. 10, keep your promises. 11, stay cheerful and constructive. And 12, upgrade the world. Okay, so let's go through these one by one now. Buy Bitcoin. Well, that's what Michael Saylor is doing for us every single week. He's buying Bitcoin for us, for the MSTR shareholders. Don't sell your Bitcoin. I believe Michael Saylor is never going to sell his Bitcoin. Yes, they always said they could sell their Bitcoin, but they have to say that for various reasons. But it would be literally end of the world scenario, in my opinion, that they would ever sell their Bitcoin. 3, focus your energy. Focus. Follow one course until success. What are you focusing your energy on? A chart that goes up and down randomly, or your friends, your family, your kids, your loved ones, your health, your wellness? Think about that. 4, guard your time. What are you wasting your time doing? Scrolling mindlessly Twitter on all these, quote unquote fake analysts that are just saying one thing so that they get a couple more views and maybe a repost? Guard your time. Get away from that crap. I follow 33 people, and those are the only posts that I consume. Train your minds. Read the right content. Listen to the right content. And, honestly, I listen to only a few shows, and I'm honored that you right now are listening to this show. And that's why I try to bring you just good, real positivity, but also realism. I mean, the market sucks right now. We're not going to lie about that. We're training our mind to be strong in these moments as well. Train your body. Guess what? Right now, it's 8:22 a.m. where I'm at. And guess what? I've already been out for a 3-mile walk with my dog, Gus, my lovely 65-pound golden doodle. He's the best. I've already done 8 minutes of lymphatic movement by my pool. I've already done a full upper body weight training session. I alternate every day, upper body and lower body every other day. And then I came up. I got to spend a little time with my son, Bo, took an amazing shower, brushed my teeth, and then now I'm sitting here doing this video. So it's 8:22 in the morning. I've already done so many positive things for my body that it's just going to be a great day. I know for that. I know that for a fact. Number 7, think for yourself. You have to think for yourself. I mean, I'm honored you're listening to this show right now. I curate my the 5 people that I spend the most time with, or in my case, the 33 people that I follow on X. I really curate those, and they give me advice, and they share great content. But guess what? At the end of the day, I make my own decisions. I think for myself. Curate friendships. That's what we were just talking about. You need to make sure you're choosing the right people to surround yourself with. You're going to surround yourself with doomers and gloomers. You're always going to be unhappy. Why? Why do that to yourself? Curate your environment. We moved to Puerto Rico 10 years ago because we knew this was an amazing place for us financially, community, all the things. We curated this environment. We didn't just stay in the hometown that we grew up in. Not that anybody's hometown, nothing's wrong with that hometown, but it wasn't the right decision for us. Keep your promises. Just be a person of your word. Stay cheerful and constructive. This is a choice to be cheerful and to be constructive. That's why people are like, John, like you keep putting out this show, even on the bad days. It's like, because there's 2 things I can do. I can stay cheerful and I can stay constructive. I can be realistic. The market sucks, but I can be cheerful that I'm getting shares of MSTR at great prices right now. And I can be constructive saying, I know what Michael Saylor is building and I'm so excited for it. And then upgrade the world. And, that's what Michael Saylor is doing with digital credit. I have no doubt. Fong, Lee, strategy, the whole team. And I'm trying to do my little part of upgrading the world. With this show every single day, I'm trying to spread the message of Bitcoin, of strategy, of digital credits, of building generational wealth that we can use in amazing philanthropic ventures if we so choose. So upgrade the world. I've been doing my other show, Entrepreneurs on Fire, for 14 years now. That's a daily podcast where I interview the world's most successful entrepreneurs in the world, and I share it for free. So you can check it out on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, if you ever want to listen to just a great conversation with a successful businessman, businesswoman about health, about business, about finance, about fill in the blanks. Like, upgrade the world. I love this quote by Albert Einstein. Try not to become a person of success, but rather a person of value. What are we doing in this world to be of value? Okay, let's move on. Strategy says innovating since 1989. Like, a lot of people don't realize strategy was founded back in 1989. And look at what they've done since. It's just been incredible. I'm not going to go through it all because you can just pause and read this if you want. But at the end of the day, 2025, the first digital credit company. That's where they've come and has been on this timeline. So impressive stuff, strategy. Keep on innovating. And then Chris is kind of mocking gold here. Store of value, quote unquote. Does a store of value really drop 6% in one day? No, that's not what a store of value would do. Obviously, Bitcoin can do that and much more in a single day, but so can gold. So, I mean, here we go. Even more bloody, by the way. We have gold down 6%, silver down 14%, platinum down 14%. And, we'll see what happens when they open. But, I mean, this is quite a volatile. A lot of people that invest in metals aren't on for the volatility. When you invest in strategy, you better be ready for the volatility. Like, going down 9% yesterday was horrific, but it's what we signed up for. Because there's been days when we've been up 15%, 25. I remember being up one day 25%. I'm sure many of you do as well. And those days will be back again. Just like there'll be more negative 10% days ahead for us. But we signed up for this volatility. Ragnar's asking, is the party over? Anyone buying the dip? So again, metals not supposed to be quite this volatile, but here we are. This is a crazy world. Hermes says, President Donald Trump on Friday named Kevin Warsh to succeed Jerome Powell as federal chair, ending a 5-month odyssey that has seen unprecedented turmoil around the central bank. Now, I don't know 100% that is the truth, but I think we are going to find out today if Donald decides to name a new Fed Reserve chair. And Hermes definitely may be correct with this Kevin Warsh. I'm just going to say it out loud. I don't know for 100% fact, but We will see. Chris says, over the decade, you're going to see more and more people shift from skeptics to supporters of strategy. It's the natural evolution of every revolution. And guess what? We are in a revolution. Absolutely. Romeo posts news closure timing. Basically, Metaplanet tapped $75 million from his Bitcoin-backed credit facility on January 30th, 2026. So that was literally today as a bridge funding. So they don't have to wait until February 13th. When the share plus warrant proceeds are expected to hit. The facility size is $500 million in total, and the draw they've used is $355 million. Their plan is to deploy the bridge into additional Bitcoin, income generation options and premiums, and potentially share buybacks, then repay the bridge quickly using the February 13th proceeds. Congrats. I like the timing, and it sounds bullish to me. And I like it too because, as Ragnar says, brilliant execution by the Metaplanet team. This $75 million bridge loan allows them to buy the current dip. Keep pushing, team. Metaplanet realizes this is a dip, and they are buyers. Now we have a great clip from Michael Saylor as soon as we get back from thanking our sponsors. Michael Saylor just made an $835 million bet buying the Bitcoin dip. Right now, Bitcoin's fallen almost 40% off its October high, and the big money is buying the dip. What's your strategy? Now might be a great time to convert your IRA or 401k to Bitcoin with the help of Bit IRA. Plus, you can fund it with pre-tax funds, then continue to invest in it over time as you do any other retirement accounts. Bit IRA protects your assets with end-to-end insurance, highly secure storage, multi-encryption, and registered with the U.S. government. Your IRA is fully IRS compliant. Best of all, you can trade crypto within your retirement account without incurring taxes on any buys or sells. Just go to bitira.com/JLD and request a free info guide. Once you do that and open your IRA, you'll get a free ledger. Bitcoin has proven time and time again to rebound, every cycle going from a higher low to a higher high. With Strategy's latest purchase, Michael Saylor clearly believes Bitcoin is at a discount. Time for you to get into. Go to bitira.com/JLD to open a tax-sheltered IRA in Bitcoin. When you want more for your business, start with Northwest Registered Agent and get access to thousands of free guides, tools, and legal forms to help you launch and protect your business all in one place. Build your complete business identity with Northwest today. Your business identity is more than your logo or website. It's everything that defines who you are and how you operate, from what your customers see to what they don't, like operating agreements, meeting minutes, and compliance paperwork. With Northwest, you'll get more for your business, more privacy, more guidance, and more free resources than you'll find anywhere else. For nearly 30 years, Northwest Registered Agent has helped entrepreneurs form, grow, and protect their businesses. They're the largest registered agent and LLC service in America, powered by over 1,500 corporate guides, real people who know the local laws and can help you every step of the way. Don't wait. Protect your privacy, build your brand, and get your complete business identity in just 10 clicks and 10 minutes. Visit www.northwestregisteredagent.com/JLD free and start building something amazing. Get more with Northwest Registered Agent at www.northwestregisteredagent.com/JLD free.
Like, Danny, I'm going to put a gun to your head. I'm going to pull the trigger and blow your brains out if you're wrong. I have $800 million in cash in the bank and I need to pay a bill on Monday. Or I have the ability to generate $800 million of cash by selling equity. It's, there's a lot of liquidity in the market, and you have to risk your life. Which of the two trades would you weigh?
Even though I'd probably believe the equity, you're obviously picking the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what we're talking about here is the whole idea of credit is to strip the volatility and strip the risk off of the capital, right? If you're a capital investor and you have a 30-year time horizon and you have $1 million, you buy $1 million of Bitcoin, you hold it, you get 30% ARR for the rest of your life. It's a no-brainer. If you're a 3-year-old and you need $10,000 a month or X thousand dollars a month or else you starve to death and you're 3 years old, you would settle for 10%. You would settle for 10, you don't want 30%. You would take $10,000 a month or $8,000 a month on $1 million of capital. If I said, I'll give you $8,000 a month forever, and I'm going to keep by the way, I'm going to keep 2/3 up front, but what I'm really keeping is 90% of the capital gains.
Mm-hmm.
If you do the math over a long period, 90% of the economic benefit goes to the company, 10% goes to the credit investor. But if your life depended upon having the money, if you were going to get thrown out of your house or your marriage was going to fail and your kids were going to, not eat, or you weren't going to pay your medical bill and you were going to die, then all of the arguments about theoretically it's better to accept the volatility,
they go out the window.
Like, you have to accept two things if you're a capital investor. And by the way, capital investor is Bitcoin holder.
Mm-hmm.
Not equity investor. Equity is MSTR holder. If you're a capital investor, you have to accept volatility and duration.
Mm-hmm.
You're not accepting, the equity risk because you're just holding Bitcoin, but you're basically saying I'm holding it for 4 years minimum, 10 years ideally, and you're accepting 35, 45 vol. But if you're a credit investor, ideally people want 0 vol. That's the ideal product is I have $1 million, I put it into a bank and it generates $100,000 a year and I get $8,000 a month and I get it every month for the rest of my life, tax deferred ideally, but whether it's taxable or not, I just want that because that way I can buy an apartment that costs me X thousands and I can pay for healthcare and I can go to school and I can take a girl out on a date or I can buy furniture, pay electricity.
Mm-hmm.
Right? As I've said, the world is built on capital, but the world runs on credit. And so what's the logic of what we're doing? We're a company. What is the company's business? Like, how are we creating value? The big way we're creating value is we're creating digital credit. Who's the customer? Not the capital investor, not the equity investor. Right? The capital investor is buying Bitcoin. They're not our customer. They're our ally. We're allies together. We're on the journey together. The credit investor is buying STRC. They want to trade at $100 and pay them a monthly dividend. And they want to know that no matter what happens to Bitcoin, no matter what happens to MSTR, they're just getting that drip. What's the second best? There is no second best.